The university was looking for a reliable language school in the UK, and in order to send our colleagues to improve their English skills. That was the time when I met Csili first, and it took me a little while to realize that she's of Hungarian origin, because your name, your first name, Csili, doesn't make it obvious that you're from Hungary, but I was glad to learn that you studied in Pécs and that you're from Hungary. Since then, we have managed to build an excellent working relationship, and the university has sent several colleagues to the school where she was working at the time. It was a perfect setup, an intensive course in England, which meant full immersion for the student, for our colleagues, and a very helpful, caring person at the other end in England, who also speaks Hungarian in the management of the school. When Csili recently moved to Canterbury and started to work for UK language, we just followed her because we trust her. Her presentation today focuses on how to boost confidence in speaking English. I'm really looking forward to your talk, Csili, because being a Hungarian yourself, you're aware of the issues most of us face. So please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Can I just quickly say, sorry, that the school's name is LanguageUK and not UK language, that's it, sorry. So hello everybody, this is me, Csili, in our studio in Canterbury. And thank you very much for having me. I'm really excited to be here and being a part of this. I'm going to try to quickly share my screen, so bear with me for a second, because this is a very professional studio and there's so much going on many screens. Okay, can you see my screen? Sorry, yes. I'm just double checking.
Awesome. We can see it.
Okay, just one moment. I have to reorganize my own screen. Fantastic. Okay, I think I'm done. All right, so welcome everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time and coming to see me today. We chose this topic, and mainly I chose this topic because this is an issue that way too many people struggle with. And actually looking at the past year with the pandemic, it's not just a confidence we need in speaking in English, but we just need to get our confidence back on every level, I think. So today I'm going to try to help you how to boost your confidence when speaking English and other languages, because obviously other languages are equally difficult and important in a way. So hopefully you will find it interesting and useful. All right, so let me start with a quick summary of my journey as a language student, just to give you a bit of a background. So as you can probably tell, and Kati has already told you, I am Hungarian, and I was born and raised in Hungary. English is my second language, and I didn't have a bilingual upbringing at all. I was about 10 years old, I think, when I started learning English, and I can only thank my parents for that, because learning languages was always a priority in the family. I had a wonderful private tutor, apart from classes at school, and I grew up on American Cartoon Network and German TV because I grew up by the Austrian border. I did my master's and Delta over the years, but to me, the most life-changing experience was having the chance to go to Canada and do a language course. And that's what put me on the path I am on today. I don't know if you can, hopefully you can see some of my pictures from there. I was 19 years old when this happened. I look like a baby. So I've been teaching English for the past 17 years, and I've been working as a marketing executive for the past 4 years. I've studied other languages apart from English, of course, such as German, Spanish, and Arabic. And at the moment, I'm actually learning Turkish. So I'm an experienced language learner, and the tips I'm going to give you today are hopefully useful, and you can put them in use and apply them, to English and any other language as well. And I'm telling you all of this because this presentation is sort of based on my experience as a language learner. So it's kind of like a case study. All right, so first of all, I'm going to briefly just tell you about the importance of learning languages, and then I will move on to some top benefits of learning English and other languages. After that, I will try to help you with some useful tips, how to feel more confident when you speak English. And at last, we will talk about how LanguageUK can help you in this journey, because I think there's a lot of things we can help you with. All right, but first of all, I'm going to start with a quote by Ludwig Wittgenstein. The limits of your language are the limits of your world. And I'm going to let this blow your mind a little bit. I really love this quote because I think it's absolutely true. And languages have definitely opened up my world, and I'm pretty sure yours too. So what is the importance of learning languages at all? I think everyone can agree with me that in today's increasingly interconnected and interdependent world, proficiency in other languages, mainly in English, is a vital skill that gives us the opportunity to engage with the world in a more immediate and meaningful way, while it's giving us a chance to, compete and succeed in a global economy. So, and the truth is, it's becoming essential. As more and more people recognize the importance of learning an additional language, those people who only speak one will be left behind. But what are the benefits of learning a language? So first of all, I think this is a really good one. You can connect and meet new people. So one of the most rewarding aspects of the human experience is our ability to connect with others. And being able to communicate with someone in English or his or her own language is an incredible gift. So doors open to you around the world. Bilinguals have the unique opportunity to communicate with a wider range of people, both in their personal and professional life. And here, bilingual, I mean people who speak two or more than two languages, not necessarily bilingual upbringing. So, for example, thanks to my language learning journey, I have friends all over the world. And if you're learning in a group setting, you immediately have new friends to share your new language with. But if not, once you go somewhere and are actually able to employ what you've learned, you'll be surprised how happy and open people are when you speak, their own mother tongue, even if it's just a little bit. So just imagine how you feel when somebody tries to say hi or thank you in your language and they actually make an effort, or cheers in Hungarian for that matter. I think that's always really impressive to me when somebody can say egészségedre correctly, Yeah, okay, what's next? You can also, another benefit is that you can also see the world. So traveling as a speaker of English or the local language can revolutionize a trip abroad. Knowing more than one language opens up your, vacation destination possibilities. And a certain proficiency in English and learning a second or third language also opens additional doors to new opportunities for studying or working abroad. In my case, as you know, I studied in Hungary and Canada, and I worked in the US, in Costa Rica, in Hungary, and in the UK as a teacher. And you can see some of my lovely students here. And I've been to 33 countries so far and counting. So let me just show you some examples. For example, Brazil, Indonesia, that's Costa Rica, Malaysia, the US, Israel, that's New York again, and Turkey, just to name a few. So Wittgenstein was right, like it does open up your world. All right, learning languages can also deepen your connection to other cultures. So language is the most direct connection to other cultures, and being able to communicate exposes us to an appreciation for the history, traditions, religions, and arts of the people associated with that language. Greater understanding promotes greater tolerance, empathy, and acceptance of others. And in a way, we gain perspective. As we explore a new language and culture, we automatically and naturally compare them to our own. So learning about another culture sheds light on aspects of our own culture, both positives and negatives that we may not have previously considered. As a Hungarian, we like complaining, but you may realize that other cultures are more positive and appreciate the little things more, and they're finding happiness in a more simple life. This was definitely the case with me when I moved to Costa Rica, and I just saw that everybody's so much happier with what they've got. Or you may find a greater appreciation for what you have in your own culture once you see what other cultures have. Like my appreciation for the public transport system in Budapest after having lived in Latin America. I think you can see that the difference is quite big. Yeah, so that was an experience. But you know, you appreciate what you've got after all, so that's a positive. Learning languages can also help you to advance your career because employers love it. Language skills can be a significant competitive advantage that sets you apart from your monolingual peers. And no matter your sector or skill level, the demand for bilingual professionals or multilingual professionals is rising exponentially. In most cases, a certain proficiency of English is already a basic requirement. So potential employers consider this a valuable asset in an employee's skill set, as they are able to connect with a broader range of people, really. As an incentive, in many instances, language skills also lead to hiring bonuses or increased salaries and promotions. So whatever your career aspiration is, with language skills added to the mix, you're ahead of the crowd. Not to mention the ability to speak a second, third, or maybe fourth language conveys that you're motivated and driven to learn new skills. And this also gives you a competitive edge. It has definitely been the case for me. Working with students and agents from all over the world gave me the opportunity to always learn new things in different languages and practice them at the same time. So being able to speak their language to some level or just know some expressions definitely gave me a huge advantage in building relationships everywhere, literally. Okay, let's move on to one of my favorite benefits, and this is that you become smarter, and learning languages will feed your brain. The many cognitive benefits of learning languages are undeniable. People who speak more than one language have improved memory, problem solving and critical thinking skills, enhanced concentration, the ability to multitask, and better listening skills. We also display signs of greater creativity and flexibility. So decisions made in other languages are more reason-driven, for example. When we deliberate in a second or a third language, we actually distance ourselves from the emotional responses and biases deeply associated with our own mother tongue and culture. So the result is clear-headed decisions, and we only base our decisions on the facts. For me, there are topics, for example, that I don't feel comfortable discussing in Hungarian, but if I have to do it in English, I don't have a problem with it. I find it really interesting. And if all these benefits, cognitive benefits, haven't been enough, as we age, being bilingual or multilingual also helps stagger mental aging and cognitive decline, including Alzheimer's and dementia by years. And last but not least, one of the most important benefits is that it boosts your confidence, because making mistakes is a necessary part of the learning process. And I know how terrifying it is, especially for Hungarians. We don't like making mistakes. We'd rather not say anything, right? So, but learning a language means putting yourself out there and, moving out of your comfort zone. So the upside is the amazing sense of accomplishment when you feel what you feel when conversing with someone, in English or in another language. I remember the first time I understood how things cost in Turkey when I, finished the numbers, or when I understood whether to go left and right based on what the sat nav said in Turkish in the car. Like, I was psyched. I just felt amazing. I was really proud of myself. So the more your confidence grows, the more you apply the yes, I can attitude in other parts of your life as well. And let's be honest, confident people are more interesting. And who doesn't want to be more interesting? And we have arrived now to the main point of the presentation. How do you get started to achieve all this? How can you boost your confidence in English? Okay, tell me if you ever felt this way, not just English, in any other language. You know the right words to speak, you know the correct expressions to use, you know everything there is about, the grammar, all thanks to years of studying at school or language classes or language courses. But yet there are moments when you're about to say something, and in the end, you just decide against it because you feel a bit hesitant to express yourself. I'm pretty sure we've all been there in any language. But don't worry, it's normal. It's normal to feel this way, because knowing how to say something and actually having the confidence to speak up, they are two completely different things. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. I know you get nervous, you go blank when someone expects you to answer them in English. I get it. It might even feel like you're a failure. But luckily, there are ways to boost your confidence, and I'll be sharing some tips with you that hopefully you will find useful and you can put to use immediately. And just remember, it's all in your head. Okay, so let's see how to feel more confident when you speak English and other languages. First of all, I'd like you to practice, practice, and practice. Getting more confident using the language starts with practice. The more you use the language, the less anxious you will feel when speaking. Just surround yourself with English more. We are glued to our phones, right? So using your phone or your laptop or any device you have is a very good first step. It's really simple and it's effective. What else? I think you could also bring it into your routine, or actually you should bring it into your routine. So try to build it in your everyday life. Even if just spending a couple of minutes each day practicing pronunciation makes a huge difference in making you feel comfortable with listening, comprehending, and eventually speaking in English. Set aside 5 minutes each day just to practice pronunciation, or listen to or watch something in English just to, get yourself acquainted with it, feel more comfortable, and just keep doing it every day. You'd be surprised how much it helps. I practice Turkish every single day with Duolingo, and I try to use everything I know, with my Turkish colleagues and friends. If it's 5 minutes a day, it's 5 minutes. If it's an hour, it's an hour. It depends on how much energy and time I've got for it. Oh, yes. And by the way, I hear this a lot, and I think this is an issue that we need to address here, that practicing pronunciation is really important. But I know that a lot of people want to improve their pronunciation to sound more British. And I don't really like this because the fact that you have an accent is actually the proof that you have worked hard to be able to communicate on the level that you are and on the level that you can, English or any other language. So just be proud of it. Make sure people understand you. Sure, that is important. But be proud of your, accent, because it's a reflection of your achievement, really. I love the fact that based on my accent, nobody ever knows where I'm from. It's a mix of everything. And it keeps changing depending on who I spend more time with. Or where I spend more time. I don't think I ever could, and I don't think I ever would want to get rid of it. I'm just really proud of it, because you study or work or communicate in another language. That's already a very, very big achievement. So just be proud of it. Okay, what else? You can also maximize your resources. So remember that the textbook isn't the only English resource you have. Just make use of everything that is out there. What the textbook can teach you Yes, English grammar, vocabulary, sentence structure. There's so much more on offer. There's media like videos, podcasts, movies, and even songs to help you. Listening to these teaches you pronunciation and improves your understanding of different accents, which can help you improve your listening and later on speaking skills. And it's a very simple habit to start. So you can spend just, I don't know, 30 minutes a day or a few times a week watching or listening to speakers to familiarize yourself with the language, and you will feel more comfortable and confident when it comes to communicating. You can use Netflix, Duolingo, TED Talks, just to name a few. And I know we all have a very busy life, but let's be honest, there's always time for one episode of your favorite TV show, right? So why not watch it in English with English subtitles? Maybe you've seen the episode before, so if you watch it again in English and English subtitles, you already know the story and you can focus more on how things are said, in English. Okay. All right, let's see the next one. If you ever feel uncomfortable about, talking to native speakers and being around native speakers, I get it. That's completely normal. Again, it's a lot of pressure, isn't it? So practice with non-native speakers instead. If you're nervous, just remember that other non-native speakers are probably just like you. So they won't care if you get something wrong. Maybe they won't even notice it because they're too focused on their own English grammar and want to get everything correct. So the fact that they're in the same boat as you are can give you a lot of confidence. All right, next one. You can also join some language exchange groups. Do you have some time after, your English class when it's over, or you want to spend some time with your friends online, maybe? So just organize a practice session, with some of your classmates and just go for a drink. Or, well, okay, nowadays join online conversation clubs and language exchange groups and bring your own drink to your computer. Not only will you be able to practice your speaking skills, but you will also make some great friends. So why not? And last but not least, and this is again a favorite of mine, please reward yourself and just recognize your achievements. It's really important. Remember my milestone with Turkish numbers and directions? I still remember it as it gave me such satisfaction, so you did get something right finally. You just spoke to a native speaker confidently. You're using longer sentence structures than before. Just make sure to make a mental note and just congratulate yourself and celebrate your little milestones. As this can help you gain confidence as well. You can even, record it, right? Put it on a list if you're a person of lists, I don't know. But these simple reminders will show you how far you've come and it will keep you moving forward. I think this is a really good one. Okay, so these are all the benefits and the tips regarding boosting your confidence. So let's say how we, LanguageUK, can help you in this journey to reach your goals. So let me tell you a little bit about LanguageUK. We're an independent language school in the heart of Kent. Both our online and face-to-face classes are up to a very high standard, and we can help you with almost all the aforementioned tips and points. It's the same setup as my language experience was in Canada. So that's why I really love my job, because I provide people the same experience that I had. It's just a really complex experience that can literally change your lives on many levels. And this is what happened to me as well. Our English courses are designed to help you speak the language confidently and immerse yourself in the culture. And I think this is very important, again, the full immersion in the culture, especially when you can finally travel again and be a part of this here face to face. So our English courses are, are designed basically to everybody. If you want to come with friends or with your family, or your workplace sends you for professional development, or you just want to have a study holiday, that's the place for, this is the place for you, and we are here for you. No matter what your age, your nationality, or your level is, this is the beauty of this all international experience, that it's open to everybody. So what to do next? First, maybe you can follow us on social media. We like sharing quizzes, useful expressions, book and podcast recommendations, or just show off our beautiful city and the area. So it's worth it. And you can learn something for free. You can also use our free study guides that are available on the website, but I'm pretty sure Jeff and Kati will help everybody have access to it later on as well. And these free study guides are available for everybody on the website, and it can help you with your reading skills. You can practice reading and read about up-to-date interesting topics. What else? You can also read our blogs and look at different topics again, practice your reading skills, and just follow what's happening in the UK. We try to do this quite often, so just watch this space and keep coming back to check it. And then please find the course for you. We have courses for juniors, teenagers, adults, families, and professionals who want to focus on special fields. And I know there are a lot of people here from different universities, so I think this is mainly the focus audience we're talking about here. Or if you want to prepare for an exam, this is the place for you as well. And if you're not sure what your English level is, then you can just take our free level test on the website. You can also join our conversation clubs, well, first online at the moment, and then later on, hopefully face-to-face, where you can just practice your speaking skills and, be in a more relaxed environment. And once we can travel again, please come and have an experience of a lifetime. Yay, I can't wait. Yeah, so this is what we're all waiting for, no matter where we are in the world. I think we want to travel again, be on a plane, and just have new experiences. And I think this would be a lovely first experience once you can leave your country. Okay, so let's have a look at what we actually offer. Our varied accommodation options, such as homestay accommodation with British families or residential stay with international students. And I just put some pictures in there for you. We have a varied social program and Saturday trips to see the area and visit London. We're only 45 minutes away from London and 20 minutes away from the sea, so that's a really nice location. And our international classes, they all create a whole package. So you will go home with not just a certificate, not just a certificate, but you will also walk away with blossoming confidence after this whole experience you have here with us in the UK. Okay, I think that's it from me. Before I finish, let's just quickly recap what are the different things that we can actually help you with from the aforementioned tips and different benefits, okay? So if you come to the UK or study with us online as well, that's obviously an alternative that's just going, it's just here to stay. Online learning is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So you can meet new people, both face-to-face and online. You will hopefully travel the world very soon. You can deepen your connection to cultures, both British and other cultures, depending on the different nationalities we have here in the school or you study with online. You can advance your career and hopefully your employers will be very proud of you, somehow appreciating your effort. You will definitely become smarter because you will practice. You will bring it into your routine because you will be here communicating in English 24/7. You will maximize your resources for sure, and then you will be practicing with native and non-native speakers at the same time. So the whole experience basically will be a long language exchange with a very nice reward at the end, which is, again, not just a certificate, but you will go home with blossoming confidence. I hope. This is the plan. Yeah, so I think this is it for me. Also, sorry, I forgot to mention that Canterbury is a university city. So we have 3 universities here, even though it's quite a small town. We have the University of Kent, Christchurch, and the University of Creative Arts also has a campus here. So it's a really busy and lively city. Once lockdown is lifted and life goes back to normal, some sort of normal by the summer. Okay, I also, for my last slide, just added my contact details in case you think that, you know, we can cooperate somehow together and we can help you with this journey. And me and the team are here to help. So if you have any questions, then please let us know or let me know in Hungarian or other languages. And I honestly, I can't wait to have people back in the school and welcome, obviously, Kati and Jeff's team as well later on this year. So yes, I think this is it. Thank you very much for listening and your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Csili.
My
I really
pleasure.
enjoyed listening to the great practical ideas, and also it was nice to get to know your school, LanguageUK.
Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments, Lindsay?
So far, we don't have any questions, but I did want to give a comment. Being an American who teaches English here.
May I have a question?
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. I'm Indri from Indonesia. Yeah,
Hi.
I just want to ask a suggestion from Csili, yeah, especially about how can I improve my speaking confidence when I have a talk with someone that always using idiomatic expressions that are not familiar for me, especially. Okay. Yeah, and as you know, in Indonesia, we almost never using some idiomatic expressions. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, that's a really interesting one. Yes, I think a lot of people, well, when you get to the level when you start learning idioms, it means that obviously your level is getting better and better, right? So a lot of people want to use these idioms and expressions as soon as they can and kind of show off how good their English is. Whereas it might be difficult for people they talk to who don't understand what those idioms mean. I think I just don't be afraid of asking. It's not shame. It's not a shame. You don't have to be embarrassed. If you don't know what an idiom means, if it's a native or non-native speaker, regardless, just ask what it means. And at least you will learn something new. Make sure you note it down somewhere and, you know, keep going back and remind yourself of what it means, and just try to build them into your vocabulary and, you know, speaking in general, slowly but steadily. I know idioms are very important, and for example, this is one thing that we regularly share on our social media, expressions that native speakers commonly use, like idioms or different phrases. So if you keep having a look at our social media, there are quizzes and words and expressions of the day and things like that. So again, you can't take it. You have to take it slow, give yourself time, and learn them bit by bit. And honestly, don't feel uncomfortable and don't feel embarrassed when you don't understand something. Just check. It's okay to ask. It's not embarrassing at all.
Okay, thank you for that question. And we have another question from Aida from Kazakhstan. Please unmute yourself and go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for a very interesting presentation. First off, I would like to say this. And second one, maybe it will not go to your, let's say, work you focused on, but don't you think that all languages are divided into language of folk and language of science, like scientific languages? Because you know Turkish a little bit, Therefore, I put this question to you. As we know, there are first civilization were Greece, were India, were China, and India and China stayed as they are. And Greece made, let's say, English too, because it's from Latin families. But because of that, should we use kind of different perspective methods to learn language? I will explain why I have this question. These days, I'm living in Kazakhstan. These days, we have our society divided. We used to be in Soviet time and we used to talk in Russian. Now we moved to the Kazakh language. Kazakh language mostly folk, not scientific language. And our grandparents with parents and with their children struggle these days, and they put them into the Kazakh class because it's difficult to learn Kazakh. It's easier to learn Russian. It's easier to learn, let's say, English. Even if we will take alphabet in English, we have 26, in Russian 33, and in Kazakh 42 letters. So should we use kind of different method taking into account that some language more scientific and more structurized, they have some structure, but some languages are kind of culture, kind of folk, they have no strict rules.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Oh, that's a really good question. I don't want to pretend I'm an expert here because I'm not.
But you know a little bit of Turkish, therefore.
Yeah. I in terms of teaching a language, I only have experience with English, but I 100% agree with you. There are different languages have different structures. What I remember from university is that there are two types of languages. One of them is like a pyramid upside down, and the other one is like a pyramid. And English is, for example, a pyramid upside down. It means that at the beginning, when you start to learn the language, it's easier. And then, the more you study, the more difficult it basically gets. The higher the level is, the more difficult it gets. Hungarian and other languages, for example, Turkish, to me, that's why it's really interesting. Both are agglutinative languages. We are the other way around. We're a pyramid. Or German, for example. So at the beginning, when you start the language, it's really difficult, but then the higher your level is, the more simple it gets in terms of grammar, vocabulary. So obviously these different types of languages, as you said as well, need to be taught differently. And I probably would have given up learning Turkish because it's not easy a long time ago, but the fact that I actually, with my linguist brain and with the experience of all the other languages I have, I find the similarities with Hungarian, and I love it. I love the fact that, the system is the same. And to be honest, my brain is weird. I'm like 90%, my brain works 90% English. I dream in English. I only read in English. I watch everything in English. I only speak to my family in Hungarian. So when I learn Turkish, I actually have to remind myself to think in Hungarian. And then it's easier for me to remember rules or understand rules. So for teachers teaching English should use, the methods that we all know really well. And then teachers who teach languages like Turkish or other languages, like, as you mentioned, definitely need different, or Hungarian, whoever teaches Hungarian, hats off, honestly. I could not, as a native speaker, I could not teach Hungarian. I would no idea how to start because it's a very different structure. So we do need different techniques, but me and us as an English language school, we only need to worry about English, to be honest. So actually that's quite lucky. I don't know if I answered your question more or less. Does it make sense?
Yes, you did. Thank you very much. And thank you for presentation. It's really cool. Actually, Kazakh words also had some similarities with Hungarian words because nice. You also had this Ottoman Empire. Yeah. And for example, we say alma for the apple, like you.
Oh, yeah, alma. Alma in Turkish. Okay. Yes, that's right. Yes, there's lots of similarities. I think it's really nice. These are, again, just these are the little pieces of joy, you know, when you learn a language, the little achievements, or when you realize some similarities are there. I think it's really cool. I'm
Thank
a
you very
fan
much.
of languages. My pleasure.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you for that question. And yes, thank you for your encouraging words, being someone who teaches English here in Hungary and seeing really the psychological aspect of that and how confidence makes such a big difference. And I always tell my students that it's sort of like parallel parking. It's hard if there's a bunch of people behind you, but when you're alone, you do okay. So it's really about how confident you are, and that's so important. So thank you. And all the opportunities that you shared with us also. Now we're going to have a quick brief presentation by one of my colleagues, and then we will also have some time in the break where we will go into breakout rooms. If you guys are familiar with breakout rooms, I will be sending an invitation. Everyone will be divided into a room. You will need to click on the invitation to join the breakout room. In that room, we would